That's because you did not you did not tell Facebook, ito yung gusto ko. That's why we've done it for a lot of people already, wherein I would take their campaigns, wala akong babaguhin sa targeting, wala akong babaguhin sa ad, but I would only change the campaign objective to messages, and then suddenly they start to get the inquiries na. So walang problem sa ad nila, walang problem sa targeting nila. It was only that it wasn't set up in the proper way. So I think here in the Philippines in particular, since not a lot of people yet have their own sites, medyo uso yung messages yung ginagamit sa campaign objectives, and that's good kasi at least nakakausap niyo sila. Pero for me in the long run, when you're able to have your own site, ang best lagi is to use conversions. Conversions is really beneficial if you have your own site. It doesn't work kapag Lazada or nakikigamit ka ng website. If that's the case, if you don't have your own site, I would recommend messages na lang. So at least nakakausap nyo yung mga potential customers. So for this demo, we'll select messages. So yan siya. Now you'll notice, and dito, sometimes this is what can get intimidating. Ang daming mga pwedeng i-click. So you'd wonder, ano ba dapat yung i-click dito and everything. And again, if that happens, I want you to refer back to this video because a lot of those, hindi naman siya kailangan na kailangan. In fact, for me, even for my own ads or for my clients' ads, hindi ko na, like itong A/B testing, hindi ko na siya in-on. I have my own way of testing. So really what our goal here is to uncomplicate it. So what I'm going to do is just click on next. Kasi all of these other things, all of these other buttons are not necessary. All right, so our next, yung next page na to, where I am now, this is the ad set level. And on the ad set level, we determine yung targeting mo and how you're spending. So we'll scroll down to go to spending. You will select how much you want to spend. Now minimum, I think ngayon is around 50 point something pesos. We can round up to 51. If you're on a budget, diba, at least this is very budget friendly, but also know na, sige, you can run with 51 pesos a day, pero you're reaching very little people. Diba, parang hindi ganun karami yung ma-reach mo. So, commensurate lang siya. If you want to reach more people, you have to spend more. But if you're just testing the waters, kahit 51 pesos, or if you can raise it to 100 pesos per day, pwede naman. You can stop it at any time naman. Let's say, nag 1 week ka, tapos parang hindi ka masaya sa results, then stop mo muna. So we'll scroll down. This is basically where we define your audience. And later I'll give you a resource on how to how to set up your targeting. But at the very basic level, you can enter saan sila. Philippines, pwedeng Metro Manila. So in this demo, gawin natin Metro Manila. Age, you can set kung meron kang specific age na reach, and then gender. And then, sa detailed targeting, marami ka kasing pwedeng target dito. And in fact, I recommend all of you to go inside Ads Manager and explore ano ba yung mga pwede ko ma-target. Diba? Education level, life events, kung parents sila. And it's free. It's free to explore. You only actually pay when you start to run your ads. So itong ginagawa ko, exploring lang and everything. Walang kailangan bayaran, so you're free to explore it and publish when you're ready. The most basic here is to know who your target audience is. And it's very important that you're clear who your target audience is kasi dito mo siya ilalagay. For example, ako, target audience ko would be entrepreneurs. So business owners. So I can type in business owner and then lalabas na dyan mga suggestions on what I can target. Diba? Interest are business owners, small business owners. Ito, one of my favorites for any of you who are targeting other business owners. Hanapin nyo to, small business owners na behavior. Yan. And you really only need to pick at least one na relevant because once you pick one, lalabas na dito sa suggestions all of the other different interests or behaviors that you can target. Diba? Kung small business, entrepreneurship, yung job title niya, business owner or CEO. Yan. So you can add in any lang that you like that are relevant. No? Sometimes the temptation here is to add in maraming interests. Kasi parang, uy, pwede to. But I would suggest that the more specific you can be, the better. Diba? Kasi Diba, there's a saying na if you're trying to target everyone, then you're really targeting no one. So that's very true, especially with Facebook ads. Diba? So try to really, before you start, really know sino ba yung target audience ko. Diba? Like I always tell life insurance advisors, there's that tendency for them to say na target audience ko is lahat kasi lahat naman may life eh. Lahat naman may money. But yeah, while that is true, diba, how powerful would it be to be able to pick a specific target segment and cater to that specific segment, to have your messaging only to them. Diba? Kasi for example, life insurance, you would sell life insurance differently to a parent of a newborn child than a fresh graduate. You have the same product pero iba yung reasons nila for buying. And if you're trying to target everyone, di ba, parang yung messaging mo is, life insurance, pwedeng pang investment, pwedeng pang insurance, pwedeng pang lahat. And it can be confusing. And it doesn't really create a compelling message. Versus, when you target a specific audience and you know what your product does for them and your messaging is focused on that, that can make your messaging connect so much better, and that will make your ads convert so much better. And of course, it also helps with targeting. Right, so once you're done with that, you set your budget, you set your targeting, you can click on next, where you can design your ad already. And so make sure to select your Facebook page. And then you have the option of choosing kung ano yung gusto mong image or video. So kung meron kang mga images na sa page, you can use them. Tingnan natin kung ano meron ako sa page ko. But so I can use all of these different things as my creative. Or kung may bago ka, if you're doing some images on Canva, you can upload it here. So upload lang natin. Ako personally, for me, since of course I appear a lot in my own marketing, quote unquote selling myself as a coach, as an advertiser, as someone who wants to build trust with the people. I put a lot of my face. So in my creatives, so mga selfies, things like that. Yun yung mga creatives ko. It's not yung mga parang highly designed things like that. But a lot of what we do, particularly for ads to people who don't know us or don't know me, are mga selfies. Okay, so primary text, and of course we could go a whole 4-hour workshop just on copy. Pero the idea here is to get the attention of your target audience and really get them, give them a reason why they should contact you or message you. A lot of times there's the temptation to always focus on the product. Parang, look at my cell phone. This is the best cell phone in the world. You should buy this because ganyan. But our objective here is to make a connection first. That's why it's very important that you know who your target audience is, so that you know what they would resonate with. And for a lot, and I'll give you another resource on this as well. One thing they resonate with, or two things that they resonate with, could be, number one, what are their desires? So yun na yung mga gusto nila. And number two could be yung pain points. What are they experiencing? So you'll see this in the templates I'll share with you later. Pero a lot of times we start our ads with things like, are you looking for a way to increase sales? And notice that as you're typing it out, lumalabas na siya dito, so that you can design, for example, yan ba yung gusto kong itsura, and things like that. So you can call out yung gusto nila. Are you looking for a way to increase sales? Or you can call out parang pain points that they're experiencing. You can say something like, a lot of business owners struggle to scale their business, especially during December. Sample lang yan. A lot of business owners struggle to scale their business, especially during December. So my idea here is that, if there was a business owner who sees my ads, makita niya, a lot of business owners struggle to scale their business during December. Uy, oo, totoo yan. Then the goal is for them to stop scrolling and to actually read my ad. A lot of times kasi there's so much focus on the copy itself na ito dapat yung best copy and everything. But the thing is, if they don't read your copy, wala lang din siya. But that's why it's very important that your first sentence gets their attention. Think about it. Diba? Pag nag-Facebook tayo, we usually just scroll and scroll and scroll and scroll until we see something that captures our attention. And usually for an ad, that is the creative. That's why the creative should ideally be something that captures their attention. And immediately after that, when they stop scrolling, babasahin yung first sentence. And that first sentence ideally should make that connection already. Because if it doesn't, if ang first sentence mo is, this is the new, or parang we have a new policy that is the best policy in the world. If they don't make a connection with that first sentence, they'll just scroll past it. And kahit gaano pa kaganda yung the rest of your copy is, or gaano ka skilled to be able to close people, that will not resonate, right? So that's very important. So hopefully that made sense. Again, I'll give you a resource para you can have frameworks to be able to work with. Kasi fill in nyo na lang yung blanks. Right? We can have a headline. You can see things like message us today. Gawa tayo ng sample ad. Message us today to get started. So tuloy natin to. I'll come up with something lang very simple. It doesn't have to be overly complicated. A lot of business owners struggle to scale their business, especially during December. That's why we decided to do a Facebook ads workshop for online sellers during this holiday season. Simply click below season. Simply click below to sign up. Pwede ganun lang ka-simple. I got their attention and then I shared my offer and then I told them what to do. You'd be surprised. So for example kami, sa team, we do ads. We do ads for our clients. And sometimes there would be ads na talagang buong puso at nilagay namin, yeah, this is the best ad. And then we would have another ad as simple as this, as short as this, para lang we have ads to test. And you'd be surprised na yung hindi pa pinag-isipan na ad, usually yung mas nagpa-perform ng maganda. At the end of the day, we can do all the preps, but I will never argue with results. If the results say na ganitong simpleng ad converts better, then I will stick with this. So yeah, and basically once that's done, once I'm happy with it, I can publish an ad. So whether you're doing it for your business or you're doing it for a client's business, it's actually this simple. And once you start to feel that you're overcomplicating it, then you're likely overcomplicating it because it doesn't have to be overly complicated. All right, so I hope that helped. I'd love to know, for example, sa Zoom, sa chat, if that helped, if that made sense. Can you type in sa chat? And also sa Facebook Live, if you're watching via Facebook Live. I'd love to know para, di ba, I've been talking ng dire-diretso, I don't know kung, sana naman na may kausap. Pero yan lang, can you let me know in the chat? Dun sa mga nasa Zoom, did that make sense? Or hindi ba? I just love to know that you're still there. May kausap pa ako.
Okay, guys, do you have questions, clarifications? Feel free to unmute yourself or just chat in the chat box.
Yeah, I just want to know kung at least at that point that made sense ba? Was that helpful? Before we get to some of the questions that came in from before.
Ako, ang dami kong realization as you share yung kaninang demo.
Yeah.
Don't overcomplicate things para sa akin.
For sure.
Kasi for me, parang I need to prepare so much para maging effective siya. Kasi syempre, we will be spending money for it, diba? Pero as you said, simple lang para makarelate sa audience.
Yeah, and I think that's one of the misconceptions. Yeah, I've been doing this for 7 years already, and I've had a lot of different clients, spent a lot of my clients' money, and parang people would think, gusto ko malaman ano ginagawa ni Julian in terms of sa ads. What secret thing is he doing that I don't know yet? And then when I show them, how I would set up an ad, how I would set up a campaign, parang they'd always be pleasantly surprised, pero surprised na, ganun lang pala siya. Diba? And of course, diba, parang followed up by results na yung things like that na, we just set it up. Okay, na-set up na siya, nag-provide ng results, then great. Diba? So parang, for me, why overcomplicate kung kailangan? Yes, there are certain times na that we're overcomplicating, pero usually, especially kung if you're just at that point na you're just wanting to make Facebook ads work for you, get more sales, hindi naman siya kailangan.
Thank you for that. Okay, so from the audience, meron ba kayong clarification, or can we proceed?
So I'll assume na okay lahat.
Okay,
I'll assume
sige.
na okay lahat. Pag hindi naman, then doon na malabas. So my assumption is shy lang. So I'll continue.
Baka later.
Now I know a number of questions came in, again from varying sources. So I just took them as is, and then I'm going to answer them for you. Hopefully, if you were the one who asked these questions, or kung relevant siya sa'yo, please feel free to ask follow-ups. Kasi I believe there are a couple here that I think I need a bit more context on. So kung andito ka, then it's great para makapag-provide ng context. Otherwise, I'll answer it the best way I know how. So we talked about this earlier. I have experience in boosting, but what is the difference between boosting, posts, and ads? So hopefully we answered that already. Basically, with boosting, you're just limited. Mas limited yung kaya mong gawin as compared to ads. So my recommendation always would be to use Ads Manager and to do it from a desktop computer, laptop, or kung may full setup ka, then do it from there. Don't do it from mobile. Definitely don't do it from your phone. Definitely don't do it from a tablet. Desktop talaga, because the functionalities will be limited, and mas mahirap pa yung the way to be able to actually set those up. Now, here's an interesting question, and I'll be straightforward here. How do we convert them to sales? If you are having difficulties converting sales ngayon, I would not recommend Facebook ads muna. Why? Because a lot of times people expect na hindi ako bumebenta ngayon, kailangan ko lang ng Facebook ads na maayos para bumenta. Diba? What Facebook ads will do is Facebook ads will put you in front of more people and allow you to, or give you that chance to make that connection with people. However, if you do not have, I won't mince my words, if you do not have the capabilities of closing them, then talagang sayang lang yung ad. But talagang sayang lang yung sinesend mo sa ads. That's why ako, when I would take on clients, one of the things I do always ask them is, how many sales have you made in the past? Out of 10 people, without ads, out of 10 people, how many are you able to convert into a sale? Diba? How many sales has your website had before? Diba? Kasi a lot of times people expect na hindi gumagana yung stuff ko ngayon, so I just need ads to save that. But think about it like this. If you have a bucket na puro holes, and yung ads are basically the water, kahit na punuan natin yan, kung puro butas siya, it will just leak out. And I've seen this time and time again. If you don't have your offer down, it will make ads really difficult for you. Right? Sabi ko, I've seen bad ads. I've seen bad ad campaigns going to offers that are proven, offers that are great, offers na talagang gusto ng mga tao. And they work. Gumagana siya. Bad ads, great offers, they work. But I've never seen really well done ads going to a bad offer, tapos nagko-convert siya. Right? So Facebook ads will not save your offer. So it's very important that even before you start running ads, you have your offer down. You know that it's something that people want already. One of the worst things you'll do is to run ads to something that people don't want. Right? So hopefully that's clear. And when we talk about something that people don't want, we're not talking about the product. Diba? I know I use life insurance as an example kasi yun yung madalas na pumapasok sa trainings ko. So life insurance as a product is something that's proven already. But when we talk about the offer is your ability to be able to show how that product is something that is beneficial to your target audience. Right? So how do we convert them to sales? It's really up to you. Depending on what your offer is, depending on what your product or service is. But don't expect ads Don't expect Facebook ads or any platform, TikTok, Instagram, email marketing. Don't expect that to save an offer that needs saving. So yun lang. That's something I really want to stress, kasi a lot of times what will happen is na parang, let's say, bagong advisor or bagong pasok sa e-commerce, tapos sabi, trending product to, marami bumibili nito. But you're not really clear on why people are buying it, ano yung relevance dun for them. Ang sabi lang nung guru na to, basta mag-ads ka, okay na yan. Diba? And you spend money on ads, tapos hindi siya gagana, you mauubusan ka ng magagalit ka, and then you'll blame Facebook ads kasi yun yung pinakamadaling i-blame. Kasi ayaw nating tignan na baka yung offer ko. And I know that to be true because that's something I really had to deal with couple of years back. Na parang, hindi, maganda yung offer ko, kailangan lang gumanda yung ads ko. But it was really in being able to improve my offer, that I had to work on. Because when I started to do that, doon gumanda yung performance ng ads ko. Right? So hopefully that's landing and making sense. All right. So someone said, currently struggling with targeting audiences, not sure if what option I should utilize. So this question really needs context kasi, di ba, parang I don't know what you're struggling with. My assumption is that you're running ads and it's not working. And I don't know if it's actually in the targeting. But assuming na nasa targeting siya, I will give to Sheila this document. So it's my targeting worksheet. I usually give it as a giveaway for the people who attend my paid trainings, but you will get to access this. But I'll share this with you. So it's basically a PDF of guide questions that I answer to help with my targeting. So andito naman yung explanation, and basically it's a list of guide questions. For example, here's how to use it. Let's say ang target audience mo would be people who are business owners. So one of the easiest examples. So you look at kung isipin mo business owner, who do they follow or listen to? Or who are the influencers or authority figures in that space? So pag business owner, you'd think of people like Chinky Tan, Francis Kong. You'd think of people like Robert Kiyosaki. Sino pa ba? People like Gary Vaynerchuk. Anyone who teaches entrepreneurship. So yun yung mga ita-target ko. What books, magazines, or blogs do they read, or what websites do they visit? Again, kung entrepreneurship, diba, I'd probably target Entrepreneur Magazine. Diba? Because kung entrepreneur sila, baka nagbabasa sila sa Entrepreneur Magazine. What are their jobs? Similar to what I shared with you in the demo earlier. Diba? Business owner. Yan. Where do they turn to for solutions, or what tools do they use? But for example, ano bang example ko dito? Let's say, ako, targeting business owners, what I've used was to target FreshBooks, because FreshBooks is an accounting tool for business owners. So what I know is that if someone is using FreshBooks, then likely this person is a business owner. So pasok siya sa target market ko. So yung targeting ko would be FreshBooks. Then there's also what groups do they belong to. Unfortunately, this does not refer to Facebook group. This refers to groups talaga na parang what associations do they belong to. But let's say, again, for business owners, I would target groups like BNI, because BNI is a referral organization for business owners. And then also look at who are your competitors, or who are the big brands serving the same market. Ako, I teach Facebook advertising, so someone who teaches Facebook advertising would be people like digital marketer or Peng Jun. Yeah. So I would target people like Peng Jun to reach my ideal audience. So you can use this. I'll give this PDF to Sheila so that she can share it with you. So again, medyo kulang lang sa context ng question, but I hope that helps. And again, guys, for all of you watching live, whether in Zoom or sa Facebook Live, please feel free to put in your questions just to give you context. Time yung context lang. I do consultations at 10,000 for session. 10,000 per session, 30 minutes. And today you have the opportunity to ask your questions without having to pay that consult session. So my recommendation is any question you have sa Facebook ads, ibato nyo na ngayon. to make the most out of our time together. Right. Kung gagawa po ba ng Facebook ad, sino po ang mag-pay? I saw sometimes na link directly sa mga accounts. It would be the client. So my assumption here is that you're asking kasi you'll be doing this for a client. It will always be the client. The client needs to give you access to his or her ad account, and then you set up the ads there. And then payment will be from them. Hindi siya dadaan sa'yo. So yung babayaran lang nila sa'yo are your fees. But anything towards Facebook, diretso na, hindi na dadaan sa'yo yan. Most of the time. Of course, there are models na hindi ganun. Pero simplest way, again, we don't have to overcomplicate. Simplest way is to just have them give you access. Tapos let them manage the payment na. Any tips po on how to target middle income earners? I launched an ad for an online clinic and the offer is reasonably priced, but I've mostly been getting inquiries lang. Okay. So I'll give you 3 answers here. Number 1 is, well, I'll answer it directly. Number 1, there are a number of ways you can target middle income earners, but I'll share with you a couple of ways ngayon. So share screen. Balik tayo sa targeting. So let's say, right now ang targeting ko is Metro Manila business owners. Yan. So one thing I do is to narrow audience. So click on this one, narrow audience. And then dito sa bagong box, excuse me, 1 second. Dito sa bagong box, what I will do is to put in interests that are related to being middle income. No, so this could be through your research or this could be through your judgment. Ako, honest naman ako sabihin ko na a lot of times I base it on my own judgment. So for example, anong judgment ko for a middle income earner? Feeling ko middle income to high income earner, naka-iPhone yan. So you can target iPhone, let's say X. So you can target people who are accessing Facebook through iPhone X. Hanap ka ng ibang model. iPhone XS, iPhone XR. I don't even know how much this is. Pero feeling ko, hindi ko siya naka-iPhone X. Feeling ko, pag naka-iPhone X or above yan, parang okay yan. Mas may income yan. So you can do it that way. One other way I do it is, kung hindi man sa phone, again, medyo judgment, pero for me, my personal quote-unquote judgment is that if interested yung person sa golf, then baka middle income earner yan. So I'll put in golf. Noong una, medyo parang I felt bad na parang feeling ko ang judgmental ko, pero ganun eh. If it helps me with my targeting, then fine. And as long as I'm not hurting anyone. Anyway, the next thing I do in terms of middle income earner, again, based on research or based on judgment, is to target their neighborhoods. Now, for example, in my opinion, mga taga, let's say, Ayala Alabang, yan, mga middle to high income earner yan. So if you want, you can target people in those neighborhoods lang. Ayala Alabang. Yan, Ayala Alabang. Let's see. This should be okay. Ito target niya yung place na Ayala Alabang. There's also, parang ibang place yan. Anyway, hanapin natin. There's also Forbes Park. So neighborhood. There's also Bel Air Village. Yan. So just really understanding or knowing saan kaya nakatira tong mga tao na to. And that helps with the targeting. Try ko si Ayala Alabang ulit. Ayala Alabang, St. James. Hindi sila malabas. Anyway, so yeah, so those are different ways you can target middle income earners basing on how well you know them. So that's one. Again, I told you I'll answer this in 2 different ways. Number two, it sounds like that you are doing a messaging campaign or something that gets inquiries, and it looks like, or it sounds like, may mga inquiries ka pero walang bumibili. It doesn't always mean na hindi nila afford. It might be na hindi lang sila ready at that time. Diba? And just because, diba, pag-uusap tayo, sabihin ko, uy, ito yung, punta ka sa clinic, ito yung amount, pag sinabi mong no, does that automatically mean that you'll never be interested? Of course not. Baka hindi lang sila interested at that moment. And maybe what you're missing out on lang is the ability to follow up with them. So my answer number 2 to you is to make sure that you're running retargeting ads. Now, retargeting ads allow you to reach people who have messaged you before. Diba? And you can have a different message there, and yung messaging mo would be something like, hey, you messaged us last week or you messaged us some time ago notifying that you were interested. We have a promo ngayon, or just reminding them, or may available slots kami ngayon. Maybe you want to book na. Kasi baka hindi lang sila nag-reply kasi okay, alam na nila, nag-shopping pa sila. But if you don't touch base with them ulit, 'di ba? Baka makalimutan ka na nila. So being able to do retargeting ads that allow you to follow up with those that message you is important. And my answer number 3 here is, again, it's difficult for us to assume na na hindi sila middle income earner just because they're not, na hindi sila tumutuloy. Diba? It's very possible na kahit low priced yung offer, that they still don't go with it. And the reason being that they don't, with your communication, with your ads and things like that, hindi napapakita yung value of what you are offering. Because price is always relative. Diba? Let's say 10,000 pesos for a tumbler. Mahal yan. Tumbler lang, 10,000 pesos. But 10,000 pesos for a phone, na iPhone, mura yan. Diba? So it's always relative. So if it is, kung ang objection nga nila is price, then let's feedback that maybe you're not doing yet a good job of being able to convey the value of the offer. So really showing to them in your ads, in your marketing, and all of your efforts that kung bakit yun yung price niya. Na why is it worth, let's say, 1,500? Diba? Sabihin nila kung price lang, sabihin nila, bakit sa competitor niyo, parang, let's say, yung consult niyo is 2,000. Sabihin niya, bakit ang competitor niyo 750 lang? Then you can answer, bakit nga ba? Well, because in our competitors, diba, parang in this particular brand, let's say, maraming tao, haba ng pila, things like that. One of the ads I really like was a shoe brand. Tapos ang mismong ang ad nila, pas sinasabi, yes, we're expensive. The truth is, we can make our products cheap naman. But if we did that, then they would be cheap. Sabi ko, ang galing nung pagkaka-reframe niya na parang, mahal. Parang in-known nila eh. Kasi ang objection ng mga tao, mas mahal. Bakit ako bibili ng sapatos dito? Pwede akong bibili ng sapatos na mas mura sa iba. Tapos parang in-embrace nila. Sabi nila, mahal kami. Yeah, we're not cheap. We could make it cheap, but then it would be cheap. Diba? We could make the price lower, but then pangit yung quality. And I think that things like that, being able to show the value of the pricing and not just focus on ito yung amount niya. Ayun, so yun. I don't know which yung applicable, but definitely kung si Manang tanong nun, take into consideration all three. And that goes to everyone then. Kasi it's so much easier for us to always just blame it on the price. But you can't go around just lowering your prices just because people aren't buying. Next. As a Facebook ad specialist, are we the ones doing the profiling of the target client for the business, or is that given already by the business owner? I would say both. You would ask your client who their target audience is, who their ideal target audience is, and you do your own research. You do your own research, i-match mo siya, and then you do your own testing. Kasi a lot of times, diba, parang a lot of times, the business owner is so in their business na they're not able to look at it objectively. Perfect example dito yung coach ko. My coach sells solar service, install things like that. And for the longest time, kung saan nag-struggle yung business nila when they were starting was pilit ng pag tinanong mo siya, sino target audience mo? Ang sasabihin niya lagi are entrepreneurs, business owners who would want to transition to go solar. And for years, they really tried ways to be able to sell it to business owners, pero it wasn't gaining so much traction. And just when on the year that he was parang considering giving up and things like that, he had one conversation that changed everything for them, and that conversation was with a farmer. That farmer wanted to avail of their service, and that was when they realized na, shucks, ang may gusto pala ng offer natin ay mga farmers. And 'di ba, parang kung tinanong ko siya, if I was doing ads for him noon, tinanong siya, sino target audience mo? Business owners. Ipipilit ko lang na business owners na kasi yun yung sabi niya. But part of my job is also to support that person in being able to do my research and see na, uy, parang ano, let's say sa akin nangyari, uy, parang farmers may market dito. Is it worth testing? And then the test namin. If it does great, then we'll run with it. So definitely consider kung ano yung belief ng business owner and test that. No? And don't put your own opinions on it. You let the numbers dictate kung gumagana ba siya or hindi. So that's one of my favorite things. Sometimes may sasuggest ako, ayaw ni client, pipilit niya na, ito gusto mo. Then ako, I'm not one to argue. Sabihin ko, siya naman nagbabayad. Sabi ko, sige, I'll do this kahit na against sa sinasabi ko, I'll get consent, and then we'll run the ads. So papakita ko after a week. We ran this, we tested it against my idea. Yung idea ko nag-generate ng leads, yung sa'yo, hindi masyado. Is it okay if we go full forward with my idea? Parang ganon. Sometimes ganon, sometimes tama si client. Diba? And based on the data, we'll continue with that. Right? So definitely ask yung business owner, but also do your own profiling. Ito, how do I utilize the target audience? I don't know how to answer this. I walang context and things like that. So hopefully anything that we've discussed earlier has been able to help, and hopefully the tool that I will share will help as well. And then finally, ito, walang question, pero sabi niya, I'm a newbie in a VA world. For now, I do project-based and internships para madagdagan yung learnings ko as social media manager. I'm interested to know about Facebook ads kasi hindi ko pa na-try. No, so if you're doing social media work, it's a good opportunity to, just ask your client, do you want to try this? I heard about Facebook ads, gusto mo ba siyang i-try? That's how I got started. That's how I got started with my friend. Parang sabi ko, she was just selling her cosmetics through Instagram. Sabi ko, gusto mo bang, I'm learning Facebook ads, pwede ko ba i-try sa'yo? You don't have to pay me, or pay me minimal. Parang 5,000 a month lang yung siningil ko sa kanya nun. You don't have to pay me, just 5,000 a month, just pay for the ads. Parang we agreed on parang 300 pesos per day. And then, nag-grow yung business niya. And that person continues to be my client ngayon. So even nung time that I was already charging very high for my services, ang binabayaran lang niya sa akin was 5,000 a month. So yeah. So hopefully that helps. I know there was no real question there, but hopefully that gives some sort of support for you. So that was the end of the questions. I'd love to learn, for those of you watching live, what questions do you have that maybe I can answer? But again, I want, especially you took the time to be here ngayon. The last thing I'd want is for you to end here na wala kayong nakuha. So if you're watching live via Zoom, please put in your question in the chat. Or if you're watching live via Facebook, please put in your questions or comments. And then Sheila will share it with me naman. So anyone, again, the floor is open for anyone. Even Sheila, kung gusto may mga tanong ka.
Thank you so much, Coach Julian. Sobrang enlightening yung session natin today. Sige, so let's wait for the audience. Do you have questions?
Please type it in. Please share.
Ayan na.
Sige.
So see, from Charina, have you tried running ads in the US po? If so, what are the things that we need to consider, like targeting, exclusions, and tips for e-commerce?
Okay, ayan. So I put it here. Thank you, Charina, for your question. I put it here for those watching wider to know the question. Have you tried running ads in the US po? If so, what are the things that we need to consider, like targeting, exclusion, tips for e-commerce? Okay, so first thing I'd say is that in general, there is no, hindi naman mag-iiba yung strategy just because sa US siya. Diba? Whatever is, parang whatever is working here would work there as well, and vice versa. But one thing I would tell you about running ads in the US is that it's going to be more expensive than here in the Philippines. No, so take into consideration lang that because a lot of times people associate their costs with the performance of their ads. Diba? Example, nag-run ako ng 2 campaigns. Campaign sa Philippines, let's say 100 pesos per purchase. Campaign sa US, $50 per purchase. Diba? So if you compare it just based on the cost, then your mind will automatically go na hindi gumagana yung US. But the thing is, sa cost kasi, it's not a good tell of the performance. I would highly discourage people from basing the performance of their campaigns sa costs. Because sa costs, cost per purchase, cost per conversion, cost per lead, ang nagde-define nun, yes, performance is related, but more than that is the competition. Because Facebook is a bidding platform, meaning the more competitors you have na nag-ads to your target audience, tumataas yung costs talaga. What I would recommend to you in terms of how you look at your campaigns for the US is don't focus on the costs muna, focus on your conversion rates. Now for e-commerce, what is conversion rates? Basically your click-through rates, your add to cart rate, your checkout rate, and of course your overall conversion rate. How many people are buying out of those na pumunta sa website mo? And that is what will determine kung effective ba yung ads mo, kung effective ba yung targeting mo, kung effective ba yung mismo e-commerce site mo. Not the costs. Kasi it's very possible, and I've seen this happen, diba? Na yes, tumaas yung cost niya, but the performance actually is improving. It's getting better. It's just na mas mataas yung cost, especially ngayon, during Q4. A lot of people panic pag Q4 kasi sabihin nila, tumataas yung cost, pumapangit yung performance ng ads. But if you look at the conversion rates, that's actually not true. People are converting more. Mas mahal lang. Diba? And kapag mas mahal siya, a lot of people focus on paano natin pamababa. Dahil hindi mo nga siya control, hindi yung nakaka-stress. What we want to look at for e-commerce is how can we improve things like average order value. Diba? If let's say $50 per purchase yung cost mo, we look at how can we make average order value 100 pesos or $100 or $200. Diba? And this is very important kasi especially here sa Philippines, ito yung personal na hindi ko gusto like sa e-commerce space. It's always sa costs lang. Pero pag tinanong mo yung things like average order value o ano yung average basket size mo, that's not, parang a lot of people don't know it. And as I found out, kasi hindi siya tinuturo. Hindi siya tinuturo ng maraming tao. Kasi parang sasabi nila, hindi, basta mababa lang yung cost per purchase mo, okay. No, but again, if you focus on something you can't control, yun yung nagiging stressful talaga. Diba? So, yun lang. In terms of the strategy, it's pretty much the same. But where it would differ is managing your energy when it comes to seeing the cost. Kasi mas mahal talaga siya. Especially ngayong Q4. Yun lang. I don't know if hopefully that answered your question. I mean, you're here live naman. So if you have follow-ups, please feel free to share. Pero yun lang naman yung pinaka-main difference nila. So whatever you're doing here that's working, you can do it sa US then. Thank you.
Right. Thank you for that. Ang ganda. Okay, so do you have more questions, guys?
And type it in. Happy to answer it.
Meron akong private message. Very overwhelming daw yung sinishare mo, Coach Julian. Value pack daw.
Yeah, I'll take it as a compliment because sometimes overwhelming is not necessarily a good thing. But I guess that's why it's recorded. That's why it's on Facebook so that you can refer back to it. And I actually recommend to everyone to watch back this webinar kasi when you watch it again, you will pick up something that you didn't pick up the first time you're listening. So definitely, if it's overwhelming, then that's a sign na balikan mo siya because may matututunan kang bago when you go back to it.
Okay, thank you. Do you have more questions, guys?
Just type it in.
Hello, Ashley, Leia, Rhea, Miss Vanessa, and Marie. Do you have more questions? Actually, relate ako doon, Coach Julian, as you said na pag pinanood ulit, may mga new realizations.
Yep.
Ako yan.
Yeah.
Sa first time, hindi ko gets talaga.
And may explanation yan kasi parang you're a different person eh. Alam mo yan? So you're a different person. We change every moment naman eh. So you're a different person when you watch it back. So a different thing will resonate sa'yo. Diba? Kasi baka may time, may something like, let's say targeting. Ngayon, parang nakita mo na, okay, medyo malabo sa akin yung targeting. Let me explore it. So explore mo siya and things like that. So now when you watch it back, because you're this different person, and this person who now explored targeting, some of the things I mentioned earlier that didn't make sense before will suddenly start to make sense. So definitely that practice of repeating the trainings that you attend, may value siya. Hindi lang basta yung attend ka once, okay na.
Usually pag application na talaga, as in you're doing it already, doon mo talaga ma-learn.
Yep.
Okay. Ayan na, meron na. From Leia, can we request
the slides? Well, the slides are just the questions lang naman. So it will appear naman sa recording. So I don't know how yung nasa group naman siya. So since live siya, you can access it there naman. And then the PDFs, so I'll give you a PDF for the targeting, and I'll give you a PDF for copy as well na pwede niyong gamitin.
Wow, thank you so much, Coach Julian. For the recording, yes, naka-live siya, no? So nandyan lang siya sa FB group. And also, we put it in YouTube. So we can send the YouTube link to you, Leia. Okay. Yan, sige. Yan. You're welcome. Do you have more questions? Yeah, so we have sa FB Live from Deng. Sabi niya, wow, thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Okay. So we have Deng and Sally in the FB Live.
Nice. Hi, guys.
Okay, I think wala na silang question. To follow na lang if meron, no? Yeah. So I would like to thank you, Coach Julian, for this time, no? Sobrang value pack talaga siya for everyone. And ang daming learnings. Ay, meron follow-up si Sharina.
Yeah.
Can we run giveaways or promos po sa FB ads?
You just have to be careful kasi may
Naputol ba? Hello? Hello? Nawala ba si Coach Julian? Can you hear me, guys? Hello. Okay, nawala si Coach Julian.
Ito ako, nawala ako.
Ayan na, okay, he's back.
And sorry. So to answer the question, yun nga, normal giveaways parang pwede naman if your giveaways are like yan, webinars, PDFs, free courses, things like that. Basta bawal mamigay ng pera. Bawal ka magpa-raffle like lotto. Sometimes may pa-raffle or may pag-giveaway, may pa-contest, things like that. And then it gets tagged as sabihin ni Facebook bawal. As long as you're within compliance, pwede mo namang i-appeal yan. Yung bawal lang talaga is you're giving away money or something of monetary value, like gift certificates or anything like related to cryptocurrency. Hindi ko pa masyadong understand yung world na yan. Pero any giveaway related there might not be allowed. But if it's just yan, mga usual free webinars, free lead magnets, pwede naman. Never apologize for asking. It's for everyone. Sorry, dito. Never apologize for asking because that's how we learn. One of the things that I don't like seeing is have you ever been to a Facebook group wherein meron kang gusto malaman? So magtatanong ako, nangyayari sa akin magtatanong ako, tapos parang yung mga tao tumatawa, parang, tinan mo to, ba't ganyan yung question niya? And I really don't like that because this is a person, or this is me, wanting to learn something. No, and here are these people na Ay, bakit hindi niya alam ganun, like that. So for me, go lang. No, never apologize for asking questions. That's how we learn. That's how you learn. Never apologize for wanting to grow. So go lang.
That's right. I agree with you, Coach Julian. Keep on asking and makukuha mo talaga yung answers. And just want to share with you guys, no, I attended Coach Julian's session. Very, talaga siya, very detailed, as in breakdown niya, isa-isa, kung how to target, how to know the pains and wants ng mga clients. Ang galing. So I encourage you guys to if you want to know more, you can attend Coach Julian's session. Maybe you can share your courses.
Yeah, well, you can follow me on Facebook lang, Julian Canyita. We don't have any live stuff ngayon December, parang just finishing out the year, but likely pagdating ng January, mga updated Facebook ad stuff and things like that. Minsan may mga pag-giveaway. So yeah, just find me on Facebook. Tapos you can stay updated there kung may mga bagong classes kami and things like that.
Okay, so follow Coach Julian. Maybe we can share the link here in the chat box.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hanapin ko.
Ayan, see. So for now, I would like to ask you to answer the survey form na lang muna as Coach Julian looking for the link. Yeah, so we'll give you 5 minutes to answer and then we will share with you certificate of attendance and also yung mga PDF files from Coach Julian. Yeah, thank you.
Send ko siya sa'yo ngayon.
It will be orange, yellow, red, and
Targeting worksheet. And add copy.
Yeah, I got it.
I'll send you the copy worksheet then. There we go. Okay. So I sent you the 2 PDFs now. Well, sending pa lang yung isa.
Ayan, nakuha ko na rin. So I'll email them to you guys since you register naman sa feedback form. Kasi sabay-sabay namin isi-send sa inyo.
Nice.
Thank you so much, guys. Ayan, so thank you so much, Coach Julian, for this time.
Thank you, Sheila. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Okay, so this ends our session for today. Okay, we'll see you again next week. So next week we will be talking about cash flow certainty on how to manage your finances, how to maximize your income as well. So if you have questions, you message me na rin kung ano yung mga questions ninyo so that we can prepare for you. Okay, thank you so much, everyone.
Bye, everyone. Thanks, Sheila. Have a great day.
Thank you so much, Coach. Bye.